As one of the most famous whistleblowers in the last century, our next speaker hardly needs an introduction. In 1971, he leaked what came to be known as the Pentagon Papers to the New York Times. He's remained an active scholar, an economist, and an anti-war activist, and has published 3 books as well as countless articles. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming an American hero, Daniel Ellsberg.
Bradley Manning brought out his information, which inspired me very much and which made him a hero of mine. What Snowden is revealing, of course, is something that comes home to us, that affects all of us. I identify with them, I identify with their motives. Well, Snowden is in Russia. He's not here paying the consequences of his crimes. Well, I don't think he's done any crime at all. I don't think he should spend a day in jail, any more than Bradley Manning. But if he were here, he would be exactly where Bradley Manning is now, incommunicado, possibly for years before his trial, no ability to take part in the debate on these issues, essentially being tortured by cruel, inhuman, and degrading punishment, which is in the form of solitary confinement. That would serve no one's purpose. Are they whistleblowers? Well, of course they are whistleblowers. Are they traitors? Of course they are not traitors any more than I am, and I'm not. In getting rid of this lethal blow to the Fourth Amendment, aiding the enemy simply by going on the internet that can be read by whatever enemies we have, that would be the end of investigative journalism. Absolutely. Right there, to add a capital punishment sanction, life in prison without parole or death for every journalism who prints stuff that's classified from a source on the internet. That would close off investigative journalism right there. We're on the way to the death of democracy. The lists that they've composed just by the metadata alone of our associations can put us all in camps very quickly, like the Japanese in World War II. We're not there yet, and for once the attention of the American public has been achieved by the drama, in part, of Snowden's own ability to resist the attempts of the government to silence him and put him where Manning is. Combs' lawyer, speaking to a military judge, had to sort of apologize for Manning and say he believed this, yes, he believed that, but understand he was young and naive. Now, what is it that he was naive about? And Combs is explicit. He was concerned about the people we were killing and torturing in Iraq, and people that he knew were innocent. He was concerned. He cared. Then Combs said, isn't that nice that a young person should have such a concern? Of course, we, know better than that. He felt that he could make a difference. He felt that a better world was possible and that he could perhaps contribute to that. He felt that the U.S. could change, possibly. Well, obviously, this is all naive, but, not in itself evil intentioned. Well, I looked at that and I said, well, wait a minute. I'm naive in all those ways. That's my life here. I would say it's naive, the conventional wisdom, which Combs was alluding to, which is the opposite of all those things, our sophisticated, experienced, mature, older beliefs that individuals cannot make any change, so don't even think about it. A better world, a different world, is not possible. Get your salary, etc., and obey the leaders. I think that way lies catastrophe. Now they point to the fact that Snowden is in a country that has less free press than we do. He is in Russia. Is that as free as the U.S.? No, it isn't. And neither is China. He didn't go to China, he went to Hong Kong. But even so, China and Russia are less free than the United States. Is a different world possible? Yes. A worse world is very possible, and that's the way we're headed. Without a Snowden, without a Manning, I think I would have no hope. The response to Snowden has showed me that there is some leverage here. There is a possibility to use our remaining democracy and see that we don't lose the rest. Snowden and Manning, and I'm often linked with them. We were all facing lifetime sentences. Snowden not yet, but he will. And possible assassination. What I see are 2 other people like myself who are willing to risk their lives, life in prison, or even assassination. They both mentioned that as a real possibility, and they're right. In order to keep this country from becoming like Russia or China. And to do that, they have to be in a country that can stand up to the U.S. and not hand them over to torture and incommunicado. And Russia turns out to be a place like that. It's up to us to see whether we achieve what they have each said was their highest hope. Informed discussion, investigation by Congress. For the first time, there is something to work with, and there is something that is worth your lives to try to hold on to and regain the democracy that we have with all its flaws and limitations. We can do better than the way our leaders are taking us, and Manning and Snowden are holding up the model. Thank you.